Greetings followers. Today I thought I would talk about a slightly lighter topic, something that doesn't inspire too much arguing or shit slinging. So I thought today I would talk about my favourite and most influential atheist / humanist / secularist / generally awesome people that I think are making a big difference in this world for good. Now, I know that there are lots of well-known atheist speakers out there, such as Richard Dawkins, Christopher Hitchens, Sam Harris, but I thought I'd focus more so on the smaller ones, the ones that still have something great to say but aren't necessarily given a world stage to say it. So, let's start things off. First prominent atheist that I will discuss is P.Z. Myers, the creator of Pharyngula. He is a favourite amongst the bloggers and science geeks. He's an unassuming professor from the University of Minnesota, and I love the way he writes. I love that he is such a busy man yet still has time to update his blog multiple times a day. He has a lot of sass for a slightly older guy. I think he's in his maybe late 50s, and never backs down from a good debate. Admittedly, I don't understand a lot of his blog entries on genetics and all the complicated science stuff because I only have a very basic understanding, but he does report on the utter ridiculousness and cruelty of some religious groups around the world, as well as some wonderful things that humanism and secularist groups have been doing. So unless you have been living under a rock, he is a great blogger that I think all of you should follow and check up on daily, and he is a prominent but not a very well-known atheist, so I thought I would mention him in my list of my favourite atheists. The second influential atheist that I will talk about in my video is another blogger, Jen McRae. Jen McRae is the blogger behind Blaghag, and I came across this wonderful young woman due to her boobquake phenomenon. If you haven't heard of boobquake, then you are missing out. A couple of months ago, an Islamic fundamentalist suggested that women who wear immodest clothing cause earthquakes and natural disasters, which of course is hilarious and utterly ridiculous. So, in her humble little blog, Blaghag, Jen suggested that we create a boobquake day in which women wear their most revealing clothes and see if it has any effect on the amount of earthquakes that day. Of course I participated. I mean, it's for science, guys. Come on. It spread like wildfire, and she's become a popular speaker on feminism and atheism in America. In case you were wondering, the immodest clothing did not cause any significant amount of earthquakes different to what it usually would around the world, so I think she blew that guy out the water with her boobquake. You can buy t-shirts with I survived boobquake and hilarious stuff, and she's definitely an inspiration to me because she stumbled upon this phenomenon that people responded to. It was a fun way to demonstrate the ridiculousness of some of these fundamentalists who try and cover up women and keep them submissive and all that stupid stuff that I just hate. So she's definitely inspired me to start my little videos on here, so you can thank her for my weekly video updates. Another brilliant and influential atheist woman that I am deeply in love with is Leslie Cannold. Now, unless you're from Australia, I doubt you would have heard of her. She's originally from the US, but we claim her as our own. She is a brilliant writer, humanist and ethicist, and this year she won Australian Humanist of the Year. She is beautiful, she carries herself with class and dignity, and is an avid supporter of pro-choice and has written a couple of books on the importance of a woman's choice when it comes to abortion. She is a prominent media figure here when it comes to debates or advice needed on medical ethics and stuff like that. And she's a prominent atheist as well. She featured at the Melbourne Atheists Convention last year. She's also a supporter of Dying with Dignity, which campaigns for legislation of euthanasia, which I think is brilliant because for some stupid reason it's still not legal here. She is an academic that I'm really inspired to emulate. She inspires me to read more, get more involved, just generally become a better and smarter person. So you should definitely look her up. She is a brilliant woman that I cannot regard high enough. The next prominent and genuinely wonderful atheist is the brilliant Tim Minchin. He is a musical genius, and if you have ever heard any of his songs, I challenge you to disagree with me, because he is just a musical genius who says what most rational atheist people are thinking. He recently released an animated short of his poem Storm, which is probably some of the best minutes of my life that I've spent watching something on YouTube. So definitely check that out. I'll put that in the link section. He is an atheist who uses music and humour to share his opinions. And one thing that I especially love about him is that he's an avid fan of the scientific method, detests alternative medicine, and disregards all ridiculous claims of the supernatural. If he wasn't married, I'd happily have little ginger babies with him, basically. Next up, we have the hilarious Ricky Gervais. Hopefully you all know him as the creator of The English Office as well as Extras, and he recently hosted the Golden Globes, which caused a bit of controversy, but I personally loved it and found him hilarious. He is a wonderful, hilarious, outspoken and intelligent atheist, and he doesn't hold back. One of my favourite quotes from him is, "Atheists are not doing things to be rewarded in heaven. They are doing things because they're right and because they live by a moral code." I couldn't have put it better myself, especially when Christians or Muslims or anyone else who has an objection to our lack of belief comes up to us and says, "But where do you get your morals from? Don't you have to get your morals from a book? And aren't you scared of going to hell if you don't do exactly what a 2,000-year-old book says?" By pointing out that you can be a perfectly nice and helpful person in society, regardless of your beliefs or lack thereof. I think Ricky is brilliant. He has never shied away from telling people what he thinks, and although some people might find him offensive or in your face, I think it's because they're threatened. They're threatened by his strength of character and his ultimate wit and humour, in which he can get away with saying basically whatever he wants, because most of the time he's right. And finally, we have the strong and independent Fiona Patten. Once again, international viewers might not be familiar with her, but she is the leader of the Australian Sex Party here in Australia, which I know sounds like a very strange sounding political party, but I assure you it isn't as dirty as you think. I recently watched an interview with her in which she explained that she named it that in order to grab people's attention, and it really does. And it also pisses off Christian family groups like Family First and the Christian Lobby of Australia. So I support her wholeheartedly for pissing those kind of people off. She is a strong, outspoken woman who is the leader of a political party that I agree with every single policy of theirs and would happily make them the main political party of Australia, if not the world. They campaign to bring about the development of national sex education curriculum, to bring about equal numbers of women in Parliament, to create total equal rights in all areas of law, including same-sex marriage. They campaign to enact national pregnancy termination laws, which allow for legal, no-fault and guilt-free processes for women seeking termination. They want to establish a royal commission into child sex abuse in religious institutions. They want a public education system which is secular in nature and does not provide any religious instruction whatsoever. And they are also campaigning for voluntary euthanasia and assisted suicide for patients with terminal illnesses and suffering from severe pain. I mean, how can you disagree with any of those brilliant policies? I mean, sure, a lot of them are humanist-based and don't have many ideas for the economy or environment or any of that. But I think by having these people within the government and having them there to have their say would change Australia forever. We would get rid of these outdated laws in which same-sex couples couldn't get married, abortion is illegal, all of these ancient things that people still believe in and hold true, which I've discussed in earlier videos. Is just, it blows my mind, the ridiculousness. So I'm really keen on volunteering for the Australian Sex Party once I finish my degree and have some spare time to do some campaigning, and B, I can't wait for people to realise what a great initiative this is and what a great leader Fiona Patten would really be, and just what a general awesome chick she is all over. Now, of course, I've only skimmed the surface when it comes to brilliant atheist leaders out there, or influential atheists. But I'm hoping to make more videos in the future about my forever growing list of favourite atheists and secularists and humanists and general awesome people. So if you've got any suggestions as to who your favourite people are, or if you want to send me a link to a Wikipedia page about someone that you think is awesome, go right ahead, because I would love to read about what you guys consider as a strong and influential person. I think it's great that we've got these people in our community that we can emulate and look up to and hopefully work in conjunction with to, I know it sounds naive, but make the world a better place. So definitely tell me who you figure are influential and brilliant people. Thanks.